My name is Claude Ferritin, Kananaskis Outfitters.
Okay.
2007, 12 years, 11, 12 years ago. And then I got a job with Enviro's Wilderness School. So I worked for them, got on as a shift supervisor, stuck around at the camp for 4 years. I lived well, I had a great experience, and got to have a lot of unique opportunities. I quite liked it. I learned a lot about myself, and I think it made me a better human, a better father, and a better friend. It was a really cool place, very transformative for the kids there as much as the staff. I was working there when my first child was born, and one of the things I didn't want to be was a dad who was away all the time. So because it was live out in camp for 4 days a week, I didn't want to be away from my wife and my new son. My wife started the company when she was 23, and it was a tiny little rental shop around the corner just beside my shop now. So the opportunity came to expand this operation at Kananaskis Outfitters. So I took my passion and vigor for guiding and the work I'd done with retail stores through college and before that, and we expanded into this location here. Renovated and brought in a bunch of new brands and just sort of increased our retail offering. We can only do so well alone. Like, we've got networks that are growing every day that we interact with people, and we're never stronger than we are with each other. That's why it's so important to branch out.
So my name is Nathan Ryan, and we're at Fallen Timber Meadery. This is a business that I kind of built with my family, my mom and dad and my 2 brothers. I think I graduated in 2009. We were talking about this downstairs, but I kind of skipped a year of school and graduated an extra year later. This was kind of a project that got me out.
Yes.
Basically chose it because I didn't know what else to do. I had worked a season or 2 in the mountains on the ski hill and knew that I wanted to be outside and playing. And when I first saw a program that had, skiing and canoeing and kayaking and rock climbing, it seemed to fit what I wanted to do. Basically went right into this. I had kind of worked through school doing construction and stuff. I had a really amazing opportunity in school with my first field study, and where I worked for Kananaskis Country at the public safety department, which was an amazing job and opportunity, but it was kind of the first eye-opening moment for me when I realized that I was going to require a lot more schooling or self-teaching beyond ETOL. Yeah. I was nowhere near qualified to have the job that I was doing that summer, and I knew it was going to require a ton of extra time and hours to get to that position. And it was actually at the end of that summer, despite how amazing it was actually kind of disheartening knowing that there was going to be that much extra coming afterwards. Which kind of is what drove me back into doing construction and ultimately what led to this. Yeah. Branching out from what you think you're going to end up doing and following something that is just kind of, I guess, growing inherently. For me, it was just following an idea and a curiosity, and it led in so many different directions from where I ever thought I was going to end up. Particularly if, from the day I started ETOL, this is definitely not where I thought I would end up. But it's been a great life so far in doing what we are.
Yeah, so my name is Vince Paul, and I graduated in 2012 of January. So what would that be, 7 years ago?
Yeah.
So I work at Prospect Human Services, and I plan and facilitate programs that are for employment skills for our clients with developmental disabilities.
Awesome.
Yeah, so right out of ETOL, I was working at Camp Horizon with people with disabilities, all sorts of disabilities, and I was a raft guide, which was really awesome. So I was whitewater rafting. I worked for a little while in the whitewater raft world and guided commercially and guided for camp for a little bit. So I got my toe in kind of the nonprofit and the profit sector, and I really like the taking people with disabilities in the outdoors and then taking them out there and teaching them something meaningful was really important too. So stumbled on Prospect through ETOL and kind of remembered that connection there. Saw there was an opening and applied, and yeah, now I'm here. A little bit of a hiatus in the middle where I went traveling. Yeah, I think a lot of the experience from ETOL was probably like being comfortable speaking in front of a group of people. That was not something I was super confident before, and I think ETOL gave me a lot of opportunities to just speak in front of people, and I think that was really cool. And I'm like way more comfortable than I used to be like, hey, can you give us a little session on canoeing? Oh yeah, sure, let me just pull this out of my back pocket and I'll just make up a program about canoeing on the spot. But then also being prepared and being able to deliver a program, that too. Not just a pro BSer. So I think my advice would be some good advice that I got last year, and that's to focus on one thing that you're really, really good at and lean on it and let yourself be really good at it and know what you're really good at. So pick one thing that you're really, really good at, and then pick something else that you know you're weak at and you're not very good at, and then strive to improve it. That's my advice to someone who's just graduating, or really anyone actually. But yeah, I think that leaning on what you're strong at and what you're really good at gives you something to work to be good at. And then at the same time, we're always working to improve. So as you work on, or as you pick something that you're weaker at to improve, then slowly those are going to become things you're good at, and you're going to pick something else that you're weaker at, improve on that. And suddenly you're going to have this huge array of skills that you're going to be super, super good at.
So my name is Doan. Oh, that's a tough one. What year is it now? In 2019, I think I graduated 3 years ago from the ETOL program. So for me, I really had a passion for wildlife and conservation, and I basically just wanted to find a way to be able to immerse myself in it and gain some experience. And as a lot of people know, ecotourism isn't heavily loaded on biology or those sciences, so it's a little bit tougher to get into this field. So I actually took the route of education and decided with my practicums to do a couple different roles within education. And one of them was with Yamnuska Wolf Dog Sanctuary, the other one was with the Vancouver Aquarium, and I kind of built on my skill set and then saw that it aligned with what I'd want to do in the future working with wildlife, and then kind of from there just kind of gained more experience and those skills to be able to do so and get to those places I wanted. Oh, my favorite part is seeing the bond that you get with them. So it's going to be super duper cheesy that I'm saying this, but just like the look in their eyes that they give you and they show that they actually appreciate you is definitely so worth what I do. And like there's a lot of bad points to this job, like I clean up poop a lot, but at the same time too, they definitely show that appreciation in a way that we typically don't think of. So that's pretty cool, and kind of building those bonds with them, but then also educating the public is really cool on wolf dogs and wolf conservation as well. Seeing people click and kind of get what you're saying and try to make more informed decisions about their own lifestyle, but also how they interact with wildlife is pretty awesome as well. Oh, ETOL has helped me in a lot of different ways. I think the first one is networking skills and being able to talk to anyone and everyone and really gaining the public speaking side of it. I think for me too, networking has taken me a long way, kind of progressed my career in a sense that I have been talking to many different people and kind of opening those doors, and maybe they may not be for right now, but then they're always in my back pocket for the future. For me in my career, I think that I've really branched out in a way in which I've kind of dabbled and tried a lot of different careers and jobs and kind of gained experience from there that all accumulates to my skill set now. And really kind of going for those atypical jobs that people wouldn't really think of or even scared of trying to get into.
Mako, what are you doing? Over here. Mako, start it off. Yeah. Oh, I know. Do you want to come say hi to other people?
Yeah, this guy. Wherever there's a camera.
Well, basically just...
Yes, my name is Lori Toma. I graduated officially in 2005. Now I am a co-founder of a Growing Roots. It's a forest and nature play school in Cochrane. Growing Roots is the opportunity to do an outside classroom. So we have kids, predominantly their ages 3 and 4, and we are outside we're playing. It's a child-led, play-based program. So we're doing all of what you would do in a classroom, but even better because we're outside. You know, my favorite part is probably watching the kids really grow and develop outside. They're in their best element out here and they're their best selves, and we'll get parents who give us heads up because of behavioral problems, and those are things that we just don't see here, and I think it's because we're removing those walls for them so they can just kind of be free to be who they are without having to be forced into a situation that they're not comfortable in. Yes, we see a ton of growth. So we have kids that start and they're not even able to say goodbye to their moms and dads in the parking lot. And then, you know, a few weeks in, once they've developed some social skills and made some friends and realized that it's not scary, then they just fly out of the car and they're waving goodbyes to their moms and dads and having tons of fun, and they make friends, and we see tons of growth from the first time that they start here to the last class. Figure out what you want to do and design your program to support that. Don't expect to come out of ETOL with, and I'm sure you've heard this before, you don't come out as an accountant or an engineer, so you can't just expect to come out and magically find the work you want. You need to kind of backtrack from where you want to be, a few ideals of where you want to be, and then just backtrack from there and see, okay, what's going to get me there? And then just start checking them off your list.
Awesome.